Today's event is actually completely unplanned. I had no idea that on a Sunday morning I was going to come up to a car event and start filming. I was actually going in the area to get some groceries and I started seeing a lot of classic cars and I was like, wait a minute, stop the car. I need to record all these cars. I need to make a video out of this. And the funny thing is I kept hearing that in Murphy, Texas, there was always a car event on Sundays in the Lowe's parking lot. And I thought, oh, it's probably just a few car guys that just come around and hang out, and that's what people probably thought. But no, it was an actual full car event. I looked up online and this is a Texas All-American Classic Car Show that is hosted by Mustang Sally Productions, and they do different events in different cities in Texas, while this one is in Murphy, Texas. And I've seen videos online that have spanned from the past decade, so they have been doing it every year for a very long time. I've heard people say that even 15 years ago this event was going on, so it's definitely nice to see out here that they have the classic cars too. The day before I'm seeing supercars, hypercars, so definitely like that. Texas has so much car culture where everyone has a little bit of taste of everything, not just big lifted trucks, and then you see supercars, but you also see all these nice classic cars as well. Nice thing about all these classic cars or even the muscle cars are they are in mint condition. See any leather where there was any tears or any interior details that weren't worn out. It's like they had furnished it or they had kept it in pristine condition just for this show. And the thing about it is that it reminds me of RK Motors Charlotte, because I've been going to their classic car showroom and this reminds me of this, but as an event. And I think that it's nice to see actual owners here. I know I was talking to a few of the owners and I was actually surprised that a lot of them didn't have social media. They didn't have an Instagram account for this page or for their page. And I was kind of scratching my head thinking, so you just have like a cool car but you don't post about it? And I started remembering that, you know, back then, I mean, when you had a cool car, it's not like there was social media as much, so it wasn't that popular. So this event, I noticed that it doesn't get that much like media coverage, or you don't see that many posts on social media. So it's definitely a nice event where there's less people, you know, running after cars or anything, and it's just more of a chill event. And I can't wait to come another time where they have even more cars. I definitely think that today's heat, something that probably kept a lot of people to not come out as much, because I saw some of the old videos where they had way more cars, and I don't know if it's just because I came later on from when the event started or what, but definitely still a nice show overall. And I think that it's a fun little touch when I'm going out to Saturday Cars and Coffee events like the Texas Cars and Coffee South Lake or the Park Up Front events as well. Such a nice thing to see so many old cars from 40, 50, 60 years ago that are still in pristine condition where they look brand new, or if they've only been driven less than 1,000 miles. And I think that the more the years go on, these cars are going to get even more rare and valuable and so much harder to come by. You can see a lot of supercars or sports cars at regular events, but seeing these, it's just like stepping into a time capsule. And especially when you have like the newer Mustangs and then you have the older Mustangs beside it, or the Camaros or the Chevy Chevelle, you just think, wow, they used to look so different back then, and now they have maybe cars that are transitioning into electric cars or electric supercars, and even the new sports cars that are coming out in the latest car shows like the Tokyo Auto Show. It's a lot of them are becoming hybrid, so having these gas powered cars is just really nice to preserve, because in the future it's going to be a lot more rare to see them. And if you've seen my past videos and how I usually have cars like sports cars, supercars, and now I'm posting a lot of classic cars as well, which are your favorite? Let me know which cars you prefer. And personally, I think that for the past 4 years, since I've been doing RLE for posting on Instagram, doing little YouTube videos, and now I'm doing more longer videos, I actually really had a preference back then on McLarens, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis. I think that that was always my bread and butter. Every time I went to big car events or showrooms, I kind of specifically went after those cars, and it was always something that I really liked because I never saw it on a day-to-day basis. And then over time, I started seeing them at every car event. And then I started thinking, okay, I keep seeing Lamborghini Huracans or a different color Aventador SVJ, or oh wow, there's another Aventador 63 here. I'm seeing a lot of the same kind of cars, and I started appreciating different kind of cars. So if I see like a nice Camaro ZL1 or something that's putting out over 600 horsepower and has a nice body kit on it, I'm like, wow, that is pretty nice and unique, especially when you see a lineup of maybe 10 Huracans, and did go to events specifically for those kind of cars, so it made sense. But I have started appreciating a lot of different kind of cars, even the older cars. I think the Chevy Nova is one of my favorite classic cars, maybe a Chevy Chevelle or a Camaro or the old Mustang. A lot has changed in the past few years, especially because now more cars are becoming hybrids and electric cars, as I said earlier. I think that some cars that have been unveiled were kind of a letdown because I thought maybe they would at least kind of give a bigger engine with a small electric motor to kind of pass it off as a hybrid.